You've had this exact experience. You read your notes 3, 4, 5 times before an exam. You highlight until the page glows. You reread the textbook chapter until the words feel familiar. Then you sit down for the test, read the first question, and your mind goes completely blank. Not fuzzy, blank. And every time it happens, you tell yourself, I just need to study harder. But what if the problem was never how hard you studied? What if the method you're using is almost perfectly designed to make you forget? There's a technique from Harvard memory research that flips the entire process around. And once you understand why it works, you'll never reread your notes the same way again. Here's the problem. You forget 70% of what you read within 24 hours. That's not an opinion. That's the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, confirmed by over a century of research. Your brain is not a hard drive. It deletes aggressively and it deletes fast. Rereading doesn't stop this. It just makes you feel like you know the material, while your brain is quietly deleting it in the background. Now here's the part that makes it worse. Rereading gives you an illusion of knowing without actually producing durable memory. Psychologists call this the familiarity heuristic. When you reread, it feels easier the second time. Your brain recognizes the words faster. That feeling of fluency gets misinterpreted as mastery. But all that's happening is your brain is getting better at recognizing that specific page, not at retrieving that information when the page isn't there anymore, which is exactly what an exam demands. A 2011 study at Purdue University found that students who reread felt extremely confident but performed worse on tests. Students who used a different method felt less confident during studying, but dramatically outperformed the rereading group. Confidence and actual retention were moving in opposite directions. So what's the method that crushes rereading? It's called blurting, and it was developed at Harvard. Here's what it is. You read a section of material once, normally just to absorb the ideas. Then you close the book, close the notes, and you blurt. That means you take a blank piece of paper and write down every single thing you can remember about what you just read. Not neatly, not organized, not in full sentences. You just dump it all out as fast as it comes to you. Keywords, fragments, diagrams, connections, anything that surfaces from memory. You are forcing your brain to retrieve everything it just stored before the forgetting curve has time to delete it. Then comes the step that makes the whole thing work. After you've blurred out everything you can remember, you open your notes back up and compare. Go through your blurt page line by line and check it against the source material. Use a different colored pen to add everything you missed and circle everything you got wrong. What you're looking at now is no longer a page of notes. It's a map of your exact memory gaps. When you reread, everything looks like you know it. When you blurt and compare, you get surgical precision on what your brain actually retained versus what it didn't. You stop guessing. You have physical, undeniable evidence of exactly where your memory fails. Why does this work? Memory scientists call it the testing effect. The act of pulling information out of your memory strengthens that memory far more than the act of pushing information in ever can. Reading is pushing, recalling is pulling, and your brain treats them completely differently. When you blurt, you're generating every piece of information from your own neural architecture. You're not borrowing the textbook's phrasing. You're constructing your own version. That process, even when messy, forces a level of cognitive engagement that reading passively simply cannot reach. Your brain treats self-generated information as important and tags it for longer storage. Here's the twist. When you start blurting, it will feel terrible. You will look at the blank page and realize you remember almost nothing. Students who try this for the first time almost always conclude that the method doesn't work. But that feeling of drawing a blank is not evidence the method is failing. It is evidence the method is working. The entire point of blurting is to reveal how little you actually retained. That blankness you feel is the exact gap that was always there. You just couldn't see it before because rereading was covering it with a familiarity illusion. The discomfort isn't a bug, it's the diagnostic. It's showing you what would have gone blank on the exam, except now you're seeing it in your room with time to fix it. This is the honest reframe. Forgetting is not your failure. Forgetting is your brain's default setting. The problem was never that you couldn't retain information. The problem was that you were using a study method that doesn't intervene in the forgetting process at all. Blurting catches the deletion early, shows you exactly what's being lost, and forces you to rebuild those specific memories. You remember not because you never forgot, but because you forgot, noticed, and reconstructed. That cycle is the engine of durable memory. Here's exactly how to use blurting step by step. Step 1. Read one section of your material once with full attention. Just absorb it one time through. Step 2. Close everything and write down everything you can remember on a blank page. This is the blurt. Step 3. Reopen your source material and compare. Use a different colored pen to add everything you forgot. Circle anything you got wrong. Step 4. Put the blurt page away, wait a few hours or a day, then blurt again on the same topic. You'll remember more this time. Compare again. Step 5. Repeat until your blurt page matches the source material with almost no gaps. When you can blurt a topic and miss almost nothing, that material is durable. It will survive the exam. A few advanced tips. First, blurt soon after first exposure within the same study session, when the forgetting curve is steepest. Second, there's a concept called desirable difficulty. The struggle of trying to recall something you can't quite remember is exactly the signal that your brain is building a stronger retrieval path. If blurting feels easy, you probably already know it and should move on. Third, after you've blurred individual sections, try blurting an entire chapter all at once. This forces you to recall material in an integrated way, which mirrors how exam questions actually work. So tell me honestly in the comments, how much of your studying has been rereading this whole time? And are you willing to try blurting even though it will feel uncomfortable at first? If this gave you a real, research-backed method instead of just another motivational quote, hit like. Subscribe to Mind Connect for more deep dives on how your brain actually works, and send this to the one friend who studies for hours and still blanks on exams. They need this exact technique. See you in the next one.